Rock and Roll Geek Show 1392.
Still rocking after all these years.
This is the story of my rock and roll butler.
This is it, the show that started it all. Often imitated, but never equal. From San Francisco, USA, online since 2004. It's the one and only Rock and Roll Geek Show. With the original Rock and Roll Geek, Michael Butler.
Welcome to the Rock and Roll Geek Show. My name's Michael Butler. Thanks a lot for joining me. I really appreciate it. Today is Monday, May 26, 2025, and it is 12:26 p.m. Daytime show. It is after 12, so that means it's legal for me to drink a beer. I'm going to take the first sip of this first Tecate of the day in the Yeti knockoff. Oh, that's good. While I'm doing a daytime show, that means I'm up here in the mountains. I got back from Spain on Monday of last week. A week ago, when did I get back? Monday night. I got back late Monday night last week. Tuesday, I was fucking wiped out. It was it was like 11 hours to Dallas from Madrid, and then we had to go through customs. Craig and I flew together. We had to rush through customs and almost missed our flight. Fortunately, our flight from Dallas was delayed, so every flight was full, and it was an exhausting trip. I got home on about maybe 11:30 Monday night after being I was probably traveling like 20. I was probably up 24 hours. Me, Craig, and Brigitte went to the airport together. Brigitte was our fabulous merch person on the Manitoba tour. She flew to New York. Craig and I she was somewhere near the same terminal as us, so we all went to the airport together, and she flew to New York, and Craig and I flew to ultimately San Francisco by way of Dallas. We had to go through customs in Dallas and then grab our bags and then fly on to San Francisco. So I got home about 11:30. I had to take an Uber home. I was absolutely wiped out. And Tuesday I did nothing but just try to recuperate. And I had so many toxins in my body. I must have used the bathroom 20 times, just getting out I drank so much beer in Spain. I know it was bad. It was bad, friends. But for some reason, I lost my beer belly. I hope that's not a sign of that I'm in bad health or something. But the beer belly kind of disappeared, even though I was drinking a lot of beer. And now I'm pretty much rested up. On Saturday, Craig and I played our friend's birthday party in Pacifica at a place called the Longboard Bar and Saloon or something like that. Our friend Brent Turner was his birthday, and he got a bunch of his musicians friends to do a big not all-star, but a big jam with a bunch of local musicians. And it was kind of a semi-Butlers reunion, except we had a girl singer. Me, Andy, Gallion, Joel, Proto, Craig, and this girl named Sorrow was singing. We played an Aerosmith song, and then Brent got up and did TNT. It was a good time, well attended afternoon show. I've been playing bass like a motherfucker, and I'm enjoying it, man. And this weekend, so I'm up here in the mountains now. I had to stay down in San Francisco to do that show for Brent's birthday party. Hung out with the grandkids all week. Then I drove up yesterday to the mountain house, and I finally got to see the dogs, and the dogs were glad to see me, and I was glad to see them. The wife is still, and she was up here. She went down to San Francisco to watch my daughter's dog, so now I'm up here. So I haven't really seen my wife in probably close to a month. Take that for what you will, friends, but yeah, haven't seen her in about a month, and I'm still not going to see her because I'm up here all week. She's down in San Francisco all week watching my daughter's dog because my daughter and her family are going to Hawaii to visit. And then Friday I have a gig with the country band Chad Bushnell. We're playing a graduation party. It's kind of a rehearsal for this thing we're doing in Denver next week. I had to learn another 15 songs And we're playing all 15 of those songs, or most of those 15, at this graduation party on Friday. We're doing no rehearsals, absolutely no rehearsals. And then we're going to Denver on the 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th. If you're in Denver, Colorado, we're playing a place called the Grizzly Rose. We're doing, get this, 5 nights, 5 sets per night at Grizzly Rose in Denver, Colorado. Wow, that is going to be a marathon, man. But fortunately, I'm not going to have to get up in the morning and travel to the next show because all my stuff's going to still be set up in Denver. I have heard good things about the Grizzly Rose. It's a big country bar. So I don't really know what to expect, but 5 sets. And I'm playing like, I got the set list here, a playlist in my iTunes. There's like 55 songs I'm playing. Talk about a marathon and rattling the brain. One thing for sure, I'm not going to get dementia having to do all this thinking because I feel like I have taken 15 law exams working on these songs, but I'm enjoying it. Looking forward to getting I think we're going to get in the RV and drive to Denver. Could take a 3-hour flight, but no, we're going to take a 30-hour drive to Denver. I'm getting a text here. So let me, okay. All right. So it's going to be good. We're going to get into an RV with the boys. The country boys are going to get into an RV and drive to Denver. So if you're in Denver next week, come say hi, friends. I'm at the Grizzly Rose doing 5 sets at the country bar. Thursday night, get this. Thursday night's ladies' night. Ladies drink free. I shit you not, friends. Fucking ladies' night. I love it. Ladies drink free at the country bar. It's going to be good times. All right, friends. Oh, I'm enjoying. Life is good right now, friends. Life is good. I'm playing music. What's not to love? All right. Speaking of playing music, I'm back to it, back in the saddle, doing a rock and roll geek show for you, friends. I got some audio comments that I've been sitting on because I did daily updates on the Manitoba tour. You know, speaking of that, I just put on the Patreon today. Let me take a sip of this fine Tecate. I just consolidated every update from the Spain tour into one episode and stuck it on the Patreon. So if you're a Patreon donor, you can listen to them all in succession in just one podcast. So that's a little. I don't know why I did that, but I did it. And if you're interested, go to the Patreon and you can listen to the whole thing. Patreon.com/RNRGeek. So I got a bunch of audio comments I'm going to play today, and we're just going to see where that takes us. Who knows what happens in these audio comments because I have not listened to them. I have no idea what they entail. But first, let's start off with a song. This was sent to me. Bob Hazlett sent me this and 2 other albums. There's a band called The Sick Things. They have a record called Tubu Ku. I'm going to play the first song on the album. It's called Time the Avenger from Sick Things.
To sing along, praise the words of another silent song. I know this right's your own. I will testify. This I do vow, and there shall ever be. This I do vow. At least you got a piece of your let it be. Wave my hands and never miss. Lay waste to lands with a
There you go. Brand new Sick Things. I like that a lot. That's good. Thank you, Bob Heslett, for sending me that. He sent me a couple other records too. I might play during the donation segment. That's good. I'm going to have to give that record a listen. That's the only song I've heard. Thank you again, Bob Heslett, for sending me that. Okay, I got several audio comments. I'm going to get caught up here. I'm going to play the shortest one first.
Hey, Butler, what's going on? Buddy
good.
Jonathan.
Oh, thank God. It's my good friend Jonathan Travers, one of my favorite callers. I love him.
Hey, Butler, what's going on? Hey, buddy Jonathan Travers. Just calling in to say a few things here.
Did you just fart? Let me back that up here. Let me listen here.
Hey, Butler, what's going on? Buddy Jonathan Travers. Just calling in to say...
No, I think he's sitting on a leather chair.
A few things here. Just wanted to talk to you. I hadn't really called in since the show at Smalls.
Yes.
Wish we'd have got more of a chance to hang out and shoot the shit.
Me too, friend.
I just kind of wanted
to... I was there to shoot the shit with you. You didn't hang out with me, though.
Hang back and stay out of everybody's way and not have anybody come up to you and go, hey, man, who the hell is this clown?
Nah, please. Jonathan Travers, you got number one priority with me, friend. By the way, but there was nobody hanging around with me, standing in line to talk to me. So you don't say that, Jonathan Travers. You're my friend.
So I just wanted to kind of stay out of the way, but it was cool watching you guys. Cool to actually meet you and Paulak and all the, Franco. But you guys sounded great, and I've always loved going to Smalls. I used to go up there and watch this band called Speedball back in the day. Those guys were great.
Yep.
But anyway, I just wanted to call in. You did the Darkness track by track.
Yeah.
I've called in before on the Darkness. I've been a fan from day one. The minute I saw the video for I Believe in a Thing Called Love, I don't think I've been faster on getting a record after seeing a video or hearing a song than that one. From then on, I've been hooked. I've loved listening to these guys over the years, watching the transition and all that, and getting Rufus in the band from drummer Ed and all that. But
speaking of Rufus, Josh, when we were in Spain, something came up. Because the Foo Fighters hired Josh Freese, famous drummer Josh Freese, and they just fired him without any notice. They just said, you're fired, or something to that effect. I hope that Rufus Taylor does not get in the Foo Fighters, but I would imagine he'd probably be up in the running. I'm guessing it's probably Taylor Hawkins' son who's going to do it, but yeah. I don't know why I brought that up because Rufus was friends with Taylor, and he's friends with the Foo Fighters, and Rufus is one of the great drummers that's going right now. But hopefully he won't be in the Foo Fighters. Back to you, Jonathan Travers.
Anyway, that new record is absolute fucking garbage. Shit sandwich. 2 words.
Wow. You're not the only one who said that. I mean, Michael Schall from the Butlers and Graham from the Butlers, they both are Darkness fans, and they hate it. So you're not alone. But hey, in defense of the Darkness, you got to take chances sometimes, all right? If you're going to be a true artist, you got to not be afraid to take chances.
Review Shit Sandwich. That's a tough listen. I tried multiple times to just sit down, put that on the headphones, and just hit play, and that's a tough sit through, man. That's a brutal record.
I think it's not that. I think they did. It's not a very ambitious record, in my opinion. Listen to Easter is Canceled, and those. I think those records I think they spend a lot more time on the songwriting on those, and they're. Yeah, but I can see where you're coming from, Jonathan Travers.
I don't know what's going on, but I mean, it sounds great. They're not bad songs, but it just doesn't, to me, it just doesn't seem like a Darkness record. I don't know. I think it kind of sucks.
Yeah, I think they're just kind of just jerking off, if you really want to be honest about it.
I don't think there's any songs worth going back to listen to.
I agree.
Other than the one that sounds like Queen.
Yeah.
And if you're going to do that, just go back and listen to Queen. But I think it was brutal. But
I know you're not listening, Justin Hawkins or Taylor or Rufus Taylor or Dan Hawkins or the great Frankie Pillane, but a true Darkness fan is giving his opinion on your new record.
I wanted to send you a video. I saw it the other day and thought of you. It was Dizzy Reed from Guns N' Roses.
Yeah,
The dipshit on the bongos.
Oh, speaking of Guns N' Roses, somebody showed me video of John Sykes auditioning for Guns N' Roses. You heard that right. John Sykes auditioned for Guns N' Roses. I saw the video. That motherfucker was on another planet as far as level of guitar playing. I wish I could play it. I don't have it. I don't remember who. I can't say who showed it to me because there's an NDA and it would be heads would roll. But it was something to watch, man. They played. I forget what they played, but he was playing this shit effortlessly. I mean, effortlessly. He was the guys in the band. Tommy Stinson was playing bass. Everybody in the band was like looking at him with their jaws to the floor. He got in there and mopped the fucking audition floor with those guys. He was bad ass. New respect for John Sykes, may he rest in peace. But that guy is just on another level. There's good guitar players, and then there's guitar players that are on another level. John Sykes was on another level, and I'm not a huge John Sykes fan. That's a comment. All right, back it up a little bit. I'm sorry for interrupting you, Jonathan Travers.
But it was funny. It was a little short video, probably about 2 minutes, but it was from the Use Your Illusion tours back in the 90s, and he was talking about how vital he was on the congos and or the congas and the keyboards and
dipshit on a bongo.
Oh my God, it was just fucking funny listening to him state how important he was to Guns.
It was so important that I was playing the congas.
Roses in their heyday.
Imagine being on tour with Guns N' Roses in their heyday and all you had to do was play congos. What a life. What a life.
But anyway, I don't know if you've seen this, but what got me to really call in was as a teenager, I was 13 in 1984, and Van Halen with David Lee Roth, I didn't think there was anything bigger or was ever going to get any better. And I've loved that band since then. This is still probably my top band of all time. And but I just happened to see this footage of David Lee Roth at the M3 Festival.
Yeah,
I don't know if you've caught any of it.
I saw it. I'm going to comment on it. He had 4. Everybody's seen this on him. I mean, it went this whole performance. I think went viral. It went viral, man. But he had these 4 black dudes on background vocals. Those guys were so entertaining to watch. I know there was mixed reactions. A lot of people said it was great performance, David Lee Roth, and some people just said it was stupid and he sucked. But those 4 black dudes singing backgrounds was worth the price of admission. I love those guys. They were camping it up, and to see these dudes, they were like dressed all hip hop, and they looked absolutely fucking ridiculous, and they were having a great time, and they were singing all the Van Halen parts. I enjoyed it.
You know, there's a lot of people that will see these aging artists, and it's like, oh man, it's great. He's gonna play till he dies with it. You know, he's gonna die with his boots on, and he's gonna die on the road, and blah blah blah. There's a lot of people that should have that big hook from side stage coming to yank them out, and that Roth. I mean, he's been gone for 5 years. Comes out of retirement, so-called retirement, to do this show. I don't know if you've ever seen this, but when he does Van Halen without any members of Van Halen, it sounds like fucking shit. And then you look at the guys that he has in these backing.
Oh, here it comes. Here it comes. He disagrees with me.
I'm on at these shows over the years, and they all look like schlubs. I mean, you wonder if he even it looks like every one of the other guys is a room and board situation. Like that level of hired gun. It's brutal. So I'm watching him sing Panama, or I'm in the other room and Panama comes on, and I hear my girlfriend go, oh boy. I walk in. Have you seen who he's got for background singers?
Yes, the black dudes. It's hot.
When
it's great.
When did the Four Tops come out of retirement?
I love it.
I mean, it's bad enough his band sucks. He doesn't sing anything.
I love Jonathan Travers so much. I fucking love you, dude.
Like the fucking records. He still does that dumb vaudeville bullshit.
Yeah.
And now he's got these guys singing background vocals. As if
he's coming. By the way, he's coming to the Mountain Winery in the Bay Area in Saratoga. Great place to see a show. Ralph Mueller, a friend of the show and friend of mine, is an usher. tickets start at like $200. It's fucking crazy, man. Back to you, Jonathan Travers.
That's not a hard enough watch. Then you're looking at 4/5 of the Jackson 5 over there singing the background vocals to Panama. And who tells this guy this is good?
I'm sorry, I disagree. I love it.
And then, I don't know, who buys these tickets? It's fucking garbage. Come on. Just stop. Call it a career, Dave. You were good one.
He's getting $200 a ticket.
He's still got that perma grin. He's looking out like it's Madison Square Garden, 1981. Oh man, that dude's brain is fried. Anyway, I'm done rambling.
All right,
have a safe trip there and back to Spain, man.
Thank you, friend.
Have some good shows and stay healthy, stay frosty. Later, brother.
Oh, I love Jonathan Travers. Thank you for that great comment, Jonathan Travers. You too can leave me an audio comment. Just record it into your phone and email it to me, rockandrollgeek@gmail.com. All right, let's thank some people who donate to the Rock and Roll Geek Show, shall we? Let me find some music to play. This was sent to me by Bob Hazlett. Guns and Wankers. Apparently this came out in 94. I have no clue about this. He was talking like you should do a Does It Hold Up on Guns and Wankers. I've never heard of Guns and Wankers, Bob Hazlett, but I'm going to play it in the background, the donation segment here. So Guns and Wankers, the record's called For Dancing and Listening. Tell me if you know anything about this band. Let me know, friends. rockandrollgeek@gmail.com or post it in the Facebook group. Find the background here. All right. Thank you to everybody who donates to the Rock and Roll Geek Show. My favorite way to donate is through Venmo because they don't take any fees and it goes straight to me and I have an ATM card I can use. So. Venmo, Michael Stitik, $50. Thank you, Michael Stitik. Tim Schall, last minute, $50 donation. Saved the show. Both these guys saved the show. $50. Thank you, Tim Schall. Richard Fusey, $12 on Venmo. Stephen Cohen, $5 on Venmo. Stephen Bailey, $2. That's it for the Venmos. Little light, but I'm not complaining. Thank you, friends. On the Patreon, patreon.com/RNRGeek. My bodyguard, Joe Paul. And what else we got here? This is just lo-fi punk rock. Okay. Skin Beat. Joe Pollack, my bodyguard, $16.66. I believe Merch Girl Brigitte FaceTime Joe Pollack on our last show while we were playing, and they watched one of our songs together. By the way, that last show was fucking insane in Valencia. Was it Valencia? No. Cox, Alicante. The whole place was fucking bouncing. It was great. And Sven showed up. You heard the episode. Spain tour was fun. Band broke up, but the Spain tour was fun. Joe Pollack, my bodyguard, $16.66. Dan Garrow on $15. Kurt Crawford, $12.77. Fred and Ginny Bob. By the way, Kurt Crawford also sent me something. He sent me Bob Hazlett and Kurt Crawford sent me the new Wildlife. So thank you for not sending me that because that would have just been wrong. Kurt and Bob Hazlett. Fred and Ginny Bunky, $10. Patrick Shanahan, $10. Cole Thornton, $9.99. Brian Springer, $8. John Scott, writer of the great book, Tom Petty and Me. I talked to him about 2 days before I went to Spain. We talked on the phone for like an hour and a half. He was telling me stories on the phone. I should have hit record. Michael Street, $7.50. Dave Slusher, $5.55. Chiaki Hinahara, who I saw on Saturday at the Brent's birthday party. We went and had burritos after. I saw him and his great wife, Bella. Danny Borden, $5 Shitty Dude donation. Eric Klein, $5. James Shapiro, $5. Justin Lefkowitz, $5. Martin Colali, $5. Nadi Itani, $5. Paul Smith, $5. Robert Harvey, $5. Steve T. Steve Trice, $5. Eric Stowell, $4. Mike Hellier, £4. Dan McBride, $3. Mark Mazzei, $3. Mike Dixon, $3. Adrian Boschon, Bosch Rock on the Rock and Roll Geek Facebook page, $3. I don't I didn't create that Facebook page, as you know, but I do approve people. Actually, mostly the sheriff approves people now, so that we know you are not. Somebody answered the questions, and it was an AI, super hot AI chick in a Superman uniform, but she answered all the questions, so she's in. Adrian Bosch on $2. Amy Bowen, $2. Eric the Rock and Roll Plebe, $1.42. Three Legs, Four Wheels, $1. And Arnie Stash, $1. All right, what else we got? Let's try the last song, Raise Your Glass. I always like to go to the last song. On PayPal, Dave Franco, $20. Stephen Laperriere, $20, who I sent my book. He contacted me about maybe helping me finish my long overdue biography that I gave up on 10 years ago. I sent him what I had, so maybe he'll help me finish it. I don't know. He just messaged me. What did he send me? I'm going to see what his message is and see if I can read it on the thing. Okay. Hey, friend, finish the reading. It's all interesting. There's definitely something going on. I think there is a need for direction and organization, but I'm digging it. I think we should talk. This week is really fucking busy, but still tomorrow I'm in the office most of the day, maybe a Zoom call. I'd like to know what your objectives with this book, time frame. Not sure about how published rights go in the U.S., but I can find out, or maybe some friends would know. All right, thank you, Stephen Laperriere. Hey, Stephen. Doing a show. I'll get with you tomorrow. By the way, I read this on the show. Okay. All right. Talk to you later, Stephen. Thank you, friend. All right. Back to the donations. Stephen Laperriere, $20. Blake Johnston, the rock and roll Brian Cranston, who I believe there's a show review in here with a drunken show review with Michael Street. $20. Thank you, Blake. Richard Strom, $20. William Bell, $10. James Venners, $10. Jeff and Sherry, Thieleke, $10. Dave Jackson, the School of Podcasting, $10. William Moffat. That's not right. That's not in the right spot. Okay, let me take that out of there. Put that down here. And the $2. Where am I? Dave Jackson, School of Podcasting, $10. Friend of mine and friend of the show, Todd Cunningham, $10. BJ Lisko, $10. Friend of mine and friend of the show, Ralph Miller, $10. Jason Shepard, $10. Mark Bridges, our van driver and merch guy in the UK, $6.34. Thank you, Mark. Jayce Lesniewski, $5. Chris Del Grande, $5. John Ofenloch, $5. Benjamin Mueller, $5. Vincent Crimi, $5. John Tennis, $5. Gregg Long, $5. Rachel Rosenberg, $5. Andrew Howe, $5. Peter Spark, $5. Kai Matsuda, $2. Brian Gradich, $2. Lassie Satvedagen, $2. Stephen Mascord, $2. We'll try to finish this before this song's over. Chad Kiffmeyer, $2. Deborah Dreyfus, if that's your real name, $2. Philip Vermeulen, $2. Dave Alexander, $2. Adam Gerstein, $2. William Moffat, $2. Adam Croft, $2. And finally, Adam Brichet, $2. Thank you to everybody who donates to the Rock and Roll Geek Show. It's a value for value, and since I'm unemployed, only making money playing bass now, anything you can do greatly helps, friends. I really appreciate it. I got to put a floor into our storage room, and I just insulated and sheetrocked it. That cost me about $1,000 in materials. And I'm putting a floor in. I'm going to Reading tomorrow to pick up the flooring material. That's going to cost, according to square footage, about $700, $800. Not trying to make you feel guilt or anything, friends. All right. Let's go back to the audio comments. Let me take a sip of this fine Tecate. Thanks again, everybody, for donating. If you get any value out of the show and you feel like helping me out, it's greatly appreciated, friend. It's how this show survives. And there's no advertisers. You are my boss, friends. All right, let me take a sip of this fine Tecate. All right. Who is this? I don't know, but we will find out now.
Hey, this is Rick Strom from Seattle.
Oh, Rick Strom.
Yeah.
This is an old one. I apologize for not getting to this one, Rick Strom. This is a Michael Monroe show review, I believe. All right, back to you, Rick Strom. We rewind it. Sounds like he's in a crowded room.
Hey, this is Rick Strom from Seattle, down here in Las Vegas, doing a Michael Monroe show review.
Well, great.
I just saw the show. I'm back. I'm staying at Treasure Island Casino on the Strip here in Vegas. So that's
It's very hard to hear you, Rick, because of all the background noise, but I'm going to give this a try anyway.
the noise you hear around me right now. What a great fucking show.
Yeah, I heard.
I don't think there's anybody better than Michael Monroe going on these days. But
He
anyway,
was great. He was great.
I bought the VIP experience.
What do you get for that?
So got in there. I got the free autograph poster, free guitar picks, meet and greet with all the band, and saw Soundcheck. Soundcheck was fucking awesome. There's about 20 to 25 of us in there. But I Can't Get It was the first song in Soundcheck.
Okay, didn't they do 2 sets from the Move top to bottom? I think they did.
I think they did a Magic Carpet Ride. The Band with No Eyes.
A Man with No Eyes from the
And they
solo. Great song, man. Let me find that song here. Let me see. Michael Monroe. That song is great. Produced by Little Steven. Man with no. This is in the sound check, huh? Okay. Man with No Eyes. Just listen to a little bit of this song. This song is fucking great, man. Such a great tune. Yeah. This album, Not Faking It, is a great album. In my top 3 singers, I'll tell you that.
They did a Black Oak, Arkansas song.
Yeah.
I'm not an authority on Black Oak.
They did Rock and Roll because the next day they played it. They played the Whiskey, or I don't know, a couple of days after, whatever. And Jim Dandy was in town. My friend, the manager for Manitoba, John, the judge, he books a club in Fresno, and Black Oak played that night in Fresno, and he went down to play the Whiskey. And apparently Michael Monroe's a big Black Oak fan, so they were rehearsing it during sound check, and he got up and sang Rock and Roll with them.
So I don't really know any of their songs. Oh, the Mississippi Queen, is that them?
Nope, that's Mountain. Jim Dandy to the rescue, hot and nasty. I'm a huge Black Oak fan.
But some song called Rock and Roll or something.
Do you want to rock and roll? You get out to save your soul.
Like that. And they did one more, and right now I'm not as hammered as I was for the
too bad.
Marvelous 3 show review, but I'm in the ballpark.
Good, thank you, appreciate it, friend Rick.
Had a great time. I wore a Razorback shirt, and I met a dude.
I love drunk show reviews.
From fucking Norway there, who was surprised to see an American dude wearing a Razorback shirt. That was fucking cool. I met some young kid from Scottsdale, Arizona, who drove over here for the show. Like, we came down from Seattle, he came from Scottsdale, and his dad sounds like a cool dude, and he learned of Michael Monroe from looking at his dad's albums, listening to his dad's music, and the Spaghetti Incident, the Guns N' Roses thing. Saw that Michael Monroe sang on one of those songs, and he did his homework and worked back.
Good.
And became a huge Michael Monroe Hanoi Rocks fan.
Good for him.
Fucking awesome, man. Kid was cool. I liked him. So that was good. I will.
He's wasted.
I don't even know this recording. I will read the show review right now.
Yeah, there you go.
The set list.
Try your best, friend.
Took a picture of the set list, so I'm going to read off that right now.
All right.
They opened up with Dead, Jail, and Rock and Roll.
Dead, Jail, Rock and Roll.
I see they've been doing that on this whole tour. And you might as well fucking start with that and kick everybody in the fucking nuts. Then I Live Too Fast to Die Young, and Murder the
It's one of the later ones.
Summer of Love, 2 off the newest album. Fucking amazing. And then probably my favorite song of these later day Michael Monroe, the band he has now.
They're great. Rick, from Black Halos. Rich Jones from Black Halos. They had a fill-in bass player because Sammy was doing something else. Steve Conte, everybody knows he's great. And the drummer was from Chelsea Smiles, who I know from American Heartbreak, toured with Chelsea Smiles. That guy's a great drummer.
It's so fucking good. Steve Conte, Rich Jones. And I guess I will talk about part of the meet and greet thing I did with VIP. Watched the sound check. Had a chance to talk and bullshit with all those guys.
I hope my name came up. That's my ego talking.
And actually, the Ravagers opened up for them in New York. They had no opening band tonight. But I was telling these guys, the best thing going in America. I will ask all of you rock and roll geek fans right now, who is the best thing going on in America? 1, 2, 3.
Wait a minute. I got to rewind that. I'm going to get what he's asking.
Who is the best thing?
Back it up farther here.
I was telling these guys, the best thing going in America. I will ask all of you rock and roll geek fans right now, who is the best thing going on in America?
I'm going to just take a wild guess and think. He thinks it's Tuck Smith, which I would not disagree.
1, 2, 3. We know it's fucking Tuck Smith from Restless Hearts.
I swear to God I didn't listen to this review.
Motherfucker. And Steve Conte didn't know him. None of these guys knew him. I felt like the rhyme of the Ancient Mariner. It was my
schooled him.
Duty in life to walk the earth and tell people about Tuck Smith and the Restless Hearts and the Biters. And, a lot of them knew who the Ravagers.
Tuck Smith, I know you're not listening, but you should be.
Were just because of them opening up that first show.
I saw Ravagers in Madrid. Hung out with those guys and talked to them for a long time. Good guys.
But anyway, where did I leave off on my set list? I pull it up again. So then they went third song, fourth song, Last Train from Tokyo.
Another newer one.
That's probably my favorite song of.
What happened here? What just happened here? What did I just do? Why am I losing this? What just happened? Hold on a second here. Pause this. All right, I accidentally unplugged something. I apologize, friends. Did I mention I'm in the Podcast Hall of Fame? Okay.
Right into Young Drunks and Old Alcoholics, which I feel that's a little autobiographical for me. Love it. Then they went to The Man with No Eyes, which they played in the sound check too. Fucking very cool. Old King's Road, amazing song.
Old King's Road's a good one.
Then they went back to Sensory Overdrive.
So they're not doing 2 steps on the move top to bottom. Okay.
Back to back, which is probably of these last, the last 5 albums that Michael Monroe has done. I mean, it was the first of those 5.
Yeah, Ginger co-wrote a lot of that.
I love them all, but that Sensory Overdrive was such a fucking great record. And they went Trigger the Wrist right into 78.
That's a good one.
And then I have something here called the Ballad of
Lower East Side. It's one of my favorites.
Lower East Side.
That's a Steve Conte tune.
I'm reading the set list. So.
Things are different today. Let me find that one. That one's a good one. Let me see. Ballad of the Lower East Side. Of the Lower East Side. All right, Michael Monroe, Ballad of the Lower East Side. It's a great one. This is a great one. From Horns and Halos.
Things are different today. Back in New York, I lived down on 3rd Street way back in the day. There were
Man, he's such a great fucking singer.
horse. Hallelujah. Now it's squeaky clean. There's no place left to stay.
That's a good one. Fuck, that's a good one. Oh, okay, back to you, Rick.
Great fucking song, Ballad of the Lower East Side. Then they went some little Hanoi Rocks. Don't You Ever Leave Me.
Don't you ever leave me, baby. That's one of my That's one of everybody's favorites.
It's so fucking amazing, man.
I stopped living in the memory.
We all know that's a great song.
Of
the band,
course.
not the band with no eyes, but Don't You Ever Leave Me. Then One Man Gang, awesome.
Later one.
Horns and Halos. And then back to another one they did at the sound check was I Can't Get It.
I can't get it. That's why I can't. It's a great one.
Off Two Steps from the
Yeah,
Move.
of course.
Fucking
Man, the fact that album was not fucking quadruple platinum is crazy.
Then right into the Boulevard of Broken Dreams.
On the Boulevard of Broken Dreams, produced by Bob Ezrin.
And then I think it was my favorite Hanoi Rock song, which I got like a 5-way tie by all-time favorite bands. Hanoi Rocks is one of those 5. And probably my favorite song, but I don't know if it's my favorite song by them, but it's one of them.
Oriental Beat?
It's Motivating. I love fucking Motivating. Michael Butler playing that bass. That
Oh, okay. All right. Let me find Motivating. Fuck. The great Sam Yaffa, one of the fucking underrated bass players of all time. Motivating. I mean, when Hanoi Rocks, I can't find. Let me look. Oh, it's there. Yada da da da. Okay, Hanoi Rocks. Why can't I even find fucking Hanoi Rocks? Okay, it's not on All Those Wasted Years. What is Motivating on? Okay, bear with me, friends. Oh, here it is. Motivating from All Those Wasted. The live album. It's a live album. I got it on the live album. Back to Mystery City. Bangkok Shakes. Oriental Beat. First song, Oriental Beat. Okay, I think. Yeah. Great bass run. Man, I wish I could have gone to that show. I saw him play in San Jose several years ago.
You've got to fucking love it. If you ever played that, you got to love it. I was watching those guys play that fucking song. Todd Kearns, who's
Rick Strom, didn't you come to one of the Midwest shows? I think, yeah, he did.
Filling in on this tour. I mean, I can see how...
Rick Strom... Great guy to hang out with, man. You can tell, fucking great guy.
Happy he was playing these songs. I mean, if I were him, I would feel like, fuck, I'm playing Hanoi Rock songs with Michael Monroe.
Fuck yeah.
It's like the best thing of all time. But anyway, I'm looking for my,
that's the way I feel when I'm playing Dictator songs with Handsome Dick. I'm sorry. I know my wife hates Handsome Dick. But when I'm playing those Dictator songs, those great Andy Chernoff songs, I'm up there playing those songs in front of those people in Spain. I felt like I was on top of the damn world, man.
So then we're all both motivating. Then the only, it's not the only double instructor. They did Hammersmith Palais.
I ain't had enough. If you don't have that Demolition 23 record, you got a problem, friends, because that's one of the great albums of all time. I ain't had no fun in London since the Hammer. Okay.
I'm looking at the list. I know they did.
Think they did nothing. Didn't they do Nothing's All Right?
So, yeah. The Encore. Looking down at the Encore. Hammersmith Palais, Demolition 23, fucking amazing. They did the Malibu Beach. Wow. Fucking great.
Hanoi too.
It's so good to hear those songs.
Yes.
Up around the bend after that.
We're going up around the bend. From Two Steps from the Move. Great John Fogerty.
And then they had the encores were Nothing's All Right, which is another Demolition 23. Taxi fucking driver. I'll be your taxi driver.
Yeah, sing it.
Honey, take me
Yeah.
anywhere you
Take
want
me anywhere you want to go.
to. Oh.
Yeah.
And then they closed out with the Stooges, Feel All Right. It was a great show.
Yeah. Sounds like it, Red.
I mean, there's, in my opinion, there's really nobody better than Michael Monroe.
No, he's in the top
out
three
there.
singers. I had him on the show. I said, you're my top 3 singers of all time.
He did such a great show. I did the meet and greet, talked to them all, got pictures of them all. I will do some Facebook posts. Steve Conte, was a pleasure talking to Steve Conte. Rich Jones, I bought a Black Halos album at the thing, the only vinyl I bought, but I already had all the Hannah or the Michael Monroe ones and the Steve Conte ones. So I jumped into the Black Halos. It'll be my first experience with those guys. And all this, I'm in the Treasure Island Casino right now. My wife's up in the room, sleeping.
She like
we
it?
got married in this casino
Oh, nice.
30 years ago in 95.
Did she go to the show?
First time I've been back in Vegas since then, too. The drinks are expensive. Well, on the strip, the drinks are expensive.
Yes.
But, you know, if Michael Monroe's going to be here,
But that didn't stop you, did it, Rick?
I'm going.
Exactly.
And I think when I retire, I'm retiring in July.
Good for you. man.
If he ever comes back to this fucking country, I'm going back around. But anyway, I met cool people tonight.
Good.
Obviously, if you're a fan of Michael,
When you go to a show like this, it's DAD show, Michael Monroe show, Cheap Trick show, you're going to meet people like you. And that's what it's all about, friend.
Monroe and Hannah Rocks, you're a cool fucking person.
Exactly.
I met some great people from Atlanta who are also Michael Street fans of Butch Walker and the Marvelous Three. We will meet up with them and their shows in October this year. And then I shared my Uber back here to the strip with these 2 dudes from fucking Vancouver who were cool as shit, who know
They know
Dirtbag
Rich.
Republic. And
oh, there you go, Sandy.
I don't think they're friends with Sandy, but they're friends with the drummer. I can't remember the drummer's name of Dirtbag Republic, but they were friends with him. We talked, and they were fucking blown away to meet some fucking dude who knows who Dirtbag
There you
Republic
go.
is. It was
From
awesome.
the Rock and Roll Geek
It's
Show.
been a great fucking night here in Las Vegas. Yeah, they're going to LA for 2 days in a row. I know on the second day on Sunday they're doing the Rainbow Bar and Grill anniversary, playing with Faster Pussycat, who Tammy down. We went to high school together. I knew Tammy when his name was Gus. Yeah, they're fucking awesome. That'll be fun. I wish I wasn't a slave to the railroad because I would be going there too. But anyway, Rock and Roll Geek. We'll send about 12 minutes. It was a great show. And I like a lot of fucking rock shit, but I don't think there's anybody better than Michael Monroe. Great songs, great performance of those songs. I wish he played here in the States more often, but I feel fucking lucky to have seen that tonight. Peace out and stay frosty, my friends.
Stay frosty. I don't care about that sound quality if that sound quality had a lot of background noise. You fucking rule, friend. I love everybody's fucking rock and roll geek community. I love you guys, man. Such cool people. Fuck. Jonathan Travers, Rick Strom. Come on. All right, let's take a break and listen to a song. I've had this in the playlist for a while here. This is Don Airy. Don Airy, keyboard player he's a keyboard player, right? From Deep Purple. With the singer for Nazareth. This was sent to me from Steven. I got Steven Aperture. I could be wrong on the last name. When I type things fast, sometimes I don't spell them right. So Steven, if I got your name wrong, send me an email, rockandrollgeek@gmail.com. Tell me I'm an asshole. This is it's probably not brand new now. It's been in my show notes here for a while. This is called Tell Me. It's got the singer for Nazareth, whoever's singing for him now. This is called, all right, brand new Don Airy, and we'll be back with more audio comments. You're trying to keep me lost, running out of ready to fight. right, there you go. We don't stop this. Okay. All right. Brand new Dawn area. Not horrible. Not really my thing, but I'm sure it might be some other people's. All right. I'm not sure who this is. Might be Chuck Speer. Let's listen.
Hey, Michael, it's Chuck Speer,
Chuck.
the rock and roll Hoosier, transplanted to the state of Nevada this week, visiting my mom and catching some time away and
Did you go to Vegas too?
sun and just some rest from work. And so I thought I would do a show review, yes, but a day review of my day yesterday, which also involved other musical related items. So as I posted on the page, Rock and Roll Geek Facebook page, just answer one simple question.
Yes. Actually, three.
To make sure that we're not Russian hackers.
Yes, 2 or 3.
That I was going to the Rolling Stone exhibit that they just opened up about a month ago here in Vegas. And it's very much like the Sphere, where it's all enveloped except for above you on the ceiling, but they've got sound and lights coming down. The floor has sound and lights. So you are totally enveloped in the music and sound, and but unlike the Sphere that has...
By the way, stick around, friends. I'm sorry to interrupt you, Chuck Speer. Stick around. We got a good drunken show. I don't know if it's good. I'm assuming it is. A drunken show review from the Rock and Roll Brian Cranston and Michael Street. That should be quite entertaining as well. But speaking of entertaining, back to you, Chuck Speer.
Your head. That's the only thing that was different. But to check out the Sphere, not a live band, but just to go in there to check out what the Sphere is like. I think tickets were $200 for like an hour documentary, and this was
on the Rolling Stones. $200,
$45 for an hour documentary. So
$45 is overpriced.
I mean, this is like an old, like a warehouse district type thing. It was really nice, but we're talking about thousands of square feet that. Versus the Sphere, which is a concert venue that holds 18,000. But still, it was really cool the way it enveloped you in sound, lights, and
Man,
music.
they fucking
and you
rape
could feel
you
it
in
just
Vegas.
like you would be at a show. So
remember the good old days when you could go there, all you had to do was play the slot machines and they'd give you free beers?
Takes you all the way from the 50s all the way to current time, and magazine covers and styles of dress and hair and makeup and all the different things that influenced music. Kevin Bacon was the host of the documentary type information, and pretty fast.
You're seeing a movie, and it's costing you $45 to see a movie.
But it totally envelops you. If you're standing, I stood most of the time, so I could turn around.
You know what should be enveloping you, Chuck Speer, for $45? There should be a hot chick with her arms around you for $45. But okay, all right, if you got the money, do it.
And see what was behind me and in the corners of the exhibit hall and all that, and it was certainly worth the $45.
Okay, all right, I'm wrong.
Get old vintage footage of Aerosmith, old footage from black and white from the 70s, and every band you could think of, Van Halen. I did not see any Cheap Trick now that I think about it, but
well, there you go.
But just about Metallica, Nirvana, every band that you could think of, Guns N' Roses, Motley Crue, so Journey, all the any popular band that was popular between the 50s and current day really was represented. So I did that for an hour, had some lunch, and so I would recommend anybody that comes to Vegas that would be a nice little musical related getaway. And I did that around lunchtime, came back, hung out with my mom for dinner, and then I had gotten tickets, or a ticket I should say, to the residency of the Best of All Worlds tour, which is Sammy Hagar,
now,
Michael Anthony,
what did
Joe
that
Satriani,
cost?
and Kenny Aronoff. I know this is not your favorite group of people by a long shot.
I got no problem with
they
them.
played the music of Van Halen, mostly Sammy era, but wow. So I had gotten a ticket. I kind of held off till the last minute to see if tickets prices would go down, and they did slightly. I was able to catch an 11th row ticket on the floor for $252 with service charge, which is still a lot, but it's Vegas. This Dolby Live, it used to be called the MGM Grand Live. It's like a 5,200 seat theater, so it's like half of an arena. So it's perfect size for a show, and attendance was, they had the top balcony left and balcony right, not curtained off, but they had them covered where they weren't selling those seats. So I would say that probably if it held 5,200 or whatever, there was probably 3,700 people there, I'm going to say.
Too bad.
So moderately attendant. It was night 2 of 9, but it was a Friday night. So the show starts. They had a DJ that was like mixing in classic rock, putting his own twist on classic rock, melding songs together. It was all right.
Mashups.
But so at 8:10, lights go down. DJ leaves the stage, and there's like an intro video of Sammy, a lot of stuff with old Van Halen footage, Sammy with Eddie, and then slowly the band members in the dark come in onto the stage, which he also has, I think his name's Ray Thistlewhite. He is a keyboard percussionist and background vocalist, so he's got a 5th member on the stage back near
A dipshit with the bongos.
Aronoff, which
Great drummer.
It was interesting. Kenny Aronoff,
Way better than Jason.
you know him from everybody, but mostly Mellencamp, John Fogerty, and he has a single kick, couple floor toms, couple mounted toms, but a very, average size kit. But because he was playing the music of Van Halen, he had more of an Alex Van Halen type, although he's a Tama endorser, but he had double kick, a bunch of high, 6, 8, 10-inch toms, along with the mounted toms.
In case you didn't know, Chuck Speer is a drummer.
On both bass drums, 2 floors, bunch of cymbals, so he was playing more like an Alex Van Halen kit. Michael Anthony was using, I thought he used Ampeg SVTs, but he had Fender bass amps for this particular show. Satriani has his own line, and gosh, I think it's called like World 3 or Third World or something like that. And that is what he used, just a half stack. And Sammy had a half stack of Marshalls. So it was a very bare stage. Obviously, video screens behind him, video screens on the riser that the drums and the keyboards were on. So really good sized stage too. But 10, 15 after the lights go down, they all come out. And they started out with the new song. You probably haven't heard it, but you can certainly cue it up and play it. But they have a new song called Encore Thank You, which is kind of a nod to Eddie. And it's a good song. I mean, it's kind of ironic. It's been brought up that Mammoth, Van Halen, Wolfgang had
a little bit of that one here. A little bit of that. Okay. All right. Fast forward.
Standing right there in front of me, like it never been gone.
That's good. Okay, back to you,
It's a
Chuck.
new song, and it starts out with
Shredding.
his father's type tapping.
Yeah.
And then at the same time, Sammy Hagar, his Best of All Worlds band with Joe Satriani, that song starts out with Eddie Van Halen type tapping. So if you listen to those two songs, that might even be fun to do during this review. But do the new song by Wolfgang Van Halen, The End, and then the Sammy Hagar Encore Thank You. And if you listen to it side by side, the intros are not too dissimilar.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy, but
I don't find
they opened up with that.
Wolfgangs.
Second song went right into For Unlawful Carnal Knowledge from 91 or 2, I can't remember, but Standing on Top of the World with a bunch of
the world. So don't care about these songs.
globes on the video screen, so crowd going nuts. Then
Nuts.
they reached back into the Dave era and did Panama, which is one of the few cuts that they did that were Dave era, which of course you would expect that. Then back to For Unlawful Carnal Knowledge for Runaround. Then they brought out Sammy's Explorer, and so you knew it was probably going to be a Sammy era song, and they did There's Only One Way to Rock.
Okay, that's a good one.
Then they did a deep cut, which I knew that they had been doing because I think Eddie and Trunk had watched one of the rehearsals and said that from the Twister soundtrack that they did a song called Humans Being, and they brought that one out for this tour, which they're mixing up the set, changing out 4 or 5 different songs a night. So they brought out a lot of different songs that they didn't do on Wednesday last night. So Humans Being was the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth song. Then they went into Right Now. So, of course, everybody went nuts with the keyboard intro. Then back into the very first band out Van Halen album with Sammy, 5150, the title cut, which is, pretty complicated to play on guitars. But Satriani did a great job. He emulates Eddie really well. And, of course, you got Michael Anthony's high harmony vocals. Sammy's vocals are still amazing for 77.
Yeah.
There's a few notes he didn't go for. There's a few notes where he sticks the microphone out into the audience. But a majority of the time, he was going for notes. So I was really impressed. I think him playing with a night off in between
Oh, what did I just do? Okay, I got to pause.
is probably helping his voice a lot. And that he's...
Stop messing with
they're
cables,
a very
Butler.
well-rehearsed band. So, like I said, Kenny Aronoff, I've read an interview with him, and he said that he's trying to do justice to what Alex's parts were and that what Jason Bonham was doing before Kenny joined the band. There's a couple of spots where, me being a drummer, I noticed that Alex would go to the ride cymbal and he went to the hi-hat. But, the beat was correct and the tempo was right. It just was, this is very nitpicky stuff, but Kenny Aronoff is the pro's pro, and he was nailing the parts. So by no means am I seeing any kind of criticism of anybody's performance, because they were all top-notch. So after they did 5150, they went back to For Unlawful Carnal Knowledge for Pound Cake, which I know that they didn't play on Wednesday, because Eddie Trunk went to that show and said they didn't play it. And he was surprised, so they brought it back into the set. And that's always a favorite of mine. I just think it's got a great swagger. Then they kind of took a break. Sammy talked a little bit. And he introduced Michael Anthony. Michael Anthony brought out...
talk about Love, right?
I can't remember what kind of bass it is. It looks almost like a Gibson Explorer, but it's got it's white with blood all over it. And it's got WTFA on the back of it. When he lifts it over his head, WTFA, I think, in red, it looks like paint or blood. Anyway, so he comes out, Sammy leaves the stage, and Satriani starts playing the riff for Somebody Get Me a Doctor, and I'm losing my mind.
I love it.
Probably my favorite Van Halen album, if that's possible.
Women and
Van
Children?
Halen 2, which I know
Oh,
that's
Van
one of your
Halen 2,
favorites,
that's right.
if not your
It's
favorite,
the
right?
best Van Halen record.
So, Somebody Get Me a Doctor and Michael Anthony singing, and it killed. Oh my God, I was losing my mind. So that was the highlight of the night for me. And not coincidentally, to give Sammy Hagar kind of a rest on his vocals in the middle of the show, right after Somebody Get Me a Doctor, Michael Anthony singing it, they did Satch Boogie by Joe Satriani. So it wasn't until after those two songs that Sammy came back out. He told this story about, he said, yeah, People magazine picked up this story I told on Wednesday night about just some story I made up. I was just lying about Frank Sinatra almost getting me killed or something. And he said, the true story is that it was Elvis, when our band first tried to make it in Vegas. They had tried to get shows here and booked in Vegas, which I know he was in the Justice Brothers before he was Montrose, but I don't know if he meant that. But then he tells this whole story about Elvis saving him from this barroom, fight
right.
after this gig. And then he goes, yeah, just kidding. And it was kind of dumb, really. I mean, I love Sammy, his stage raps, and he's very interactive with the crowd. But I thought, well, why waste 3 or 4 minutes talking about something that didn't really even happen? But I don't know, everybody was kind of cracking up. But then they went kind of deep cut again, and they went to the Balance album, which is the last one that Sammy was on in 1995, and it talks about when they went to the Netherlands and the song Amsterdam, which is one that they had just brought in for this tour, which is a pretty cool riff and great drumming part, real cool ride on the bell of the ride cymbal, so that Alex did, and then of course Kenny Aronoff last night replicating that. So that was one of my favorites. Then back to 5150, Why Can't This Be Love, that they didn't do on Wednesday, so they were substituting songs in and out. Then the title cut from 5150, not title cut, but the intro single, Good Enough, the very first song. Then he brought back Mas Tequila from Sammy's solo career, which is, the one that's kind of like Gary Glitter Rock and Roll Part 1.
Yeah.
And it's, I don't know, it's okay. I've just heard it so many times. I just think it's kind of corny. It's more like a commercial for his tequila. And of course, he was passing out tequila to people during this song. He had these black solo cups, and he was pouring his Santos tequila or whatever into the cup and then handing it out to people in the crowd, which I was like 11th row, so of course I didn't get anything, but I was close enough to see all this. Then they come back out, bring his Gibson Explorer. So it's like, it's time for some Sammy again. And he gets into the opening riff of Heavy Metal, which I've heard that song a trillion times, and I still love it for whatever warped reason.
It's your
Then
one-way
closed out
ticket to
with
midnight.
55. Okay, that's, of course he's going to play it. And then the very final song with no encore was back to 5150. He did the song Love Walks In. So kind of a ballady type song to end a show. Hour and 40 minutes.
Introspective.
Like I said, crowd was all people our age for the most part.
Of course.
A lot of husbands and wives, or guys and their girlfriends or whatever. It was definitely a date night out type thing. Really beautiful theater, and because it was the Dolby Live, the sound was impeccable. You could hear every instrument super clear, and they up in the balcony, they even had a PA against the walls of each side of the balcony, so it was kind of almost like a surround sound for people in the theater. So it was the sound was impeccable. So overall, gosh, I mean, just executed well. Song selection was really good. Of course, with his history, no Chickenfoot, no Montrose.
No Montrose?
But still, deep in Van Halen hits. So great night, and a great earlier visit to that Rolling Stone interactive exhibit. So I would recommend anybody that goes to Vegas to check that out. and Sammy's residency goes for a couple more weeks. I think he's got like 7 more shows or something like that, 6 more shows. So anybody that's in this part of the country, I definitely would recommend it. And stay frosty, and I'll look forward to hearing your review and your thoughts on what I thought the show was. Get your insights.
I'm glad you liked it, Chuck Speer. I would not pay that kind of money to see those era Van Halen. I've already seen Van Halen. I saw him on the 5150 tour. I think I probably saw him on the next tour after that, and I saw him when Sammy Hagar was talking about Eddie being drunk and all that in his book. I saw him around then as well. Just not a fan of the Van Hagar era, but I'm glad you liked it. I know a lot of people are. It's not my thing, but I wouldn't pay the money, but I'm glad you enjoyed it, Chuck Speer. All right, we're going to play one more song, and then we're going to come back. It's going to be a long show today, friends. I apologize. I got a lot of backed up here with stuff. Play one song, and then to come back and with the Michael Street Drunk Show Review, which is 21 minutes long. Hey, that's what we're doing here, friends. It's a show review day. All right, what do I got in the playlist here? Let's see. Where am I here? Where am I? All right. I'm going to play this was sent to me by Bob Heslop and Kurt Crawford. Where's my playlist? This is brand new Wildlife. I just have not listened to this whole album yet, but everything I've been listening to so far, I'm enjoying it quite a lot. All right. Let me find my playlist. This song is called, I put 3 in here. I'm going to play Shotgun. Last song on the album.
Got another thing coming.
All right, there you go. Brand new Wildlife. I recommend this album. I should probably do a track by track on it. It's got when we had we went on their van and interviewed them, me and Casey, and I was telling them the songs that I like. It's, oh, you like the rollers, not the rockers. Yeah, there's a lot of rollers on this album, which I'm glad. All right, one last show review, friends. Michael Street. I believe this is Michael Street and Bryan Cranston. We'll find out.
Hello, hello.
What's going on?
Coming at you live from San Antonio.
Oh, good. We got a car in the background.
The morning after.
Great.
Actually, New Braunfels, but we are in the greater San Antonio area. It's the rock and roll Bryan Cranston, Blake Johnston, and the rock and roll exterminator.
Yeah.
And we just saw The Damned at the Paper Tiger in San Antonio last night.
So this is not drunk.
And it was a good show.
It's a sober so review from Michael Street.
Had a good time, but unfortunately, we didn't get hammered because we had a little bad combination of events that we'll get into.
Oh, good.
But we powered through it.
Let's just say we're feeling much better today.
Good.
Well, let's see. I flew in about 9 o'clock in the morning. Blake picked me up at the airport. We met up with his wife, got some chicken wings, did a little...
By the way, Bryan Cranston, your wife is out of your league, friend.
record shopping at the antique stores. And
he made Michael made a pretty good score on some things.
Yeah, but the records were outrageously priced.
Yeah.
What was that?
Oh, that one place?
Def Leppard High and Dry one for like
$60.
What?
And they were like $75 and $100 records.
Yeah,
I mean,
the
it's
second place
that.
we went to is a place called the Rooster. They're notorious for having pretty high opinions of what they've got.
I got a couple for under $10, and then a few at the. I got Nazareth, close enough for rock and roll. First, Sammy Hagar, 9 on a 10 scale, and
we had a good day. It was fun.
We were feeling great up to that point.
A good romantic day between Michael Street and Bryan Cranston.
Then on the way to the show, just like last year when I came out here.
Yeah, for the Manitoba show. We
were a little run down feeling, and we said, let's stop and get one of those 5-hour energy drinks.
Our first mistake was
diarrhea time.
Seemed to be all right last year.
Oh, it was fine. I think we did them a little slower.
So there was this little Greek restaurant across the venue.
Reset the clock.
We both got, a gyro and some fries, but we slammed that 5-hour energy before we ate. And it didn't take long. We get out in that hot Texas heat.
Both of you.
In line with a bunch of ghouls.
Both of you.
100-degree weather. We started feeling, shall I say, under the weather.
Yeah, reset.
Yeah, at first there was about 20 or 30 hot topic kid.
Did you have to dig a hole? Please tell me you dug a hole.
Look at people.
Only they were like 60.
We get into the venue, but not into the actual concert hall.
Yeah, it's got an open air area on both sides, and one of those open area sides is open, so you can go in there and sit down. There's some picnic tables and a bar, and another part of the venue where another band was playing is accessible through that side. So we were just waiting for the main venue to open.
Yeah, we didn't discuss this until this morning, but we got in there and we sat down and we were both feeling like shit. We weren't even conversing or just sitting there sweating. I mean,
no, neither one of us wanted to be a pussy.
We walk right in, and we're not in the venue yet, but there's a bar, and you would instinctively go right to the bar, get a beer, and we just sat there. Neither one of us even brought up the idea of let's get a beer.
The closest feeling I can compare it to is I had a little bit of heat stroke one time, and it felt like that, or the onset of the flu.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was feeling. I was like, damn it, somebody on that plane got me sick. Like, it's my first day out of 3 here. I'm gonna feel like shit the whole time. This sucks.
But we didn't say this out loud. We're thinking it to ourselves, and I'm thinking, oh man, Street's here with an old man, and the old man can't hang, because that's all I was thinking. Anyway, that we didn't. There was no discussion of it before this morning, so we were just sitting there waiting for them to open the venue, and eventually they did, and we did get a beer.
Yeah, we got
just to prove that we were in.
I'll have a beer.
Right.
So we got us. What you got? A Michelob Ultra.
Yeah, I drank an Ultra. That's how bad I was feeling.
That'll make you sick.
I got a Modelo.
Man, that car noise in the background, Michael Street, is so fucking loud.
And let's see, the opening band was
Tim Smith's Adverts.
Yes, it was the band, the Adverts, but just the singer. And I was like, at first, I was like, is this the guy from the Rock and Roll Geek group? But yeah, he had a British accent, and he didn't.
Well, he was like 70.
He didn't mention anything about running, so I was like, yeah, all right, this is a different guy. But hey, they were pretty good.
He was very spry for his age.
Yeah.
And he's surrounded by a bunch of young guys. And my wife, I was telling my wife, yeah, man, the bass player from the Adverts is named Gay Black, or Gay Advert, or whatever, spelled just like her name. And turns out that, I don't know, I don't even know if she's still alive, but she certainly wasn't the bass player.
So we kind of powered through their set. We didn't want to admit to each other how shitty we felt. And
yeah, it was never mentioned.
It was tough getting that beer down.
Yes, it certainly was. And then, so their set was good. They did Gary Gilmore's Eyes. That's the one I know. They did another one, something about teenagers.
There's something about, 21 was in,
Yes, yeah.
But he was full of piss.
I apologize, friends. I should have tried to clean up this audio, but I don't listen to the comments before, so bear with me.
Yeah, and he was very spry. The crowd, man, it just got more and more full as the night went on. It was a nice crowd.
Yeah, before we got there, you had a stack of vinyl and CD. Like, you know what? I'm going to get an interview with Paul Gray.
That's what I figured. I figured we could get there early enough and, catch him coming in or out and see if we could, maybe, because I'm just a huge Paul Gray fan. And, that didn't work out. We got there too late. By the time we got there, the Adverts were sound checking.
But even before their set was over, that place was getting fucking packed.
It was crowd. What would you say?
600-700.
That's what I would say.
Good
At
for
least
the dam.
400 to start out with.
Yeah.
But the place isn't big. I'd say it's 1,000 people could squeeze in there.
Yeah, if that outdoor area would have been full, probably about 1,000. But 600-700 range, I would say.
And I'll tell you this. In hearkening back to discussions that butlers had about women at gigs, no hot chicks at this gig. None.
Yeah, we just kept, looking at each other like, it's hot as shit out there, and then
they had on leather jackets. It's 100-something degrees.
It'd be the leather jackets or denim jackets with the patches. Like, how the hell?
Oh man, it was crazy. The shirts, I was down for getting a damned tour shirt or whatever. I just wasn't impressed. We looked around.
They didn't have shit.
So we were to describe where we were, and I'm sure we'll post a couple of pictures or a video or something. We were behind the sound booth, and the sound booth that we were behind had a big old, one of those big plastic covers over it, and by the time Tim Smith's Adverts was done, some guy came out and got behind that soundboard and took the cover off. So we were right there, hearing it like the sound man was, and it was a good spot. not to be in the middle of the crowd because we were just miserable.
And the Mohawk crowd was well represented too.
Yeah, absolutely. They had, a couple girls with mohawks. There was a guy with a big blue mohawk. Then there was another guy with a blue spiky mohawk. Just looked like spears sticking up. No hot chicks, none.
I was telling you before the dam came on, like my first exposure was I was really young. And me and my brother would sneak downstairs at like 11 o'clock on a Saturday night. MTV would show the young ones.
Yes.
And that was the first time I'd ever heard of the Damned. They playing the song Nasty.
Yeah, Video Nasty or whatever it is.
There were 3 people at the show wearing 3 different Young Ones shirts.
Yeah, I'm sure they thought they were being original.
So that was pretty interesting.
Yeah.
So the Damned come out, and Dave Vanian looks, impeccable, like the Robert
Fancy
Palmer,
dresser.
Graham
Nice
Bonnet
dresser.
of punk, and
Right.
Captain Sensible got his Where's Waldo?
But Vanian had on black gloves. He had on like a jacket and black gloves.
That's David Vanian.
And of course, he always wears sunglasses these days. So all I was thinking is, man, I wonder how long he'll keep those gloves on. Well, he kept them on all night.
I saw them. He wore the gloves.
In the band, we had Rat Scabies on drums.
And he was
Wait a minute. I thought Rat Scabies died. Which one of them died?
and fucking tastic.
Paul Gray, he just looked like rock star all
he was
night.
killing it. Kind of bald-headed, but I can't say anything because if I grew my hair out, I'd look just like that. But I just like his attitude, and the guy, he plays the Rickenbacker basses that sounds so great. Kind of has that Lemmy sound, not quite so
Paul Gray played on a UFO record.
trebly, not so mid-rangey. It was just awesome, and they just came out guns blazing, man. It was a great show.
Dave Vanian, his vocals were just top notch.
Yeah, he sounded good. He seemed like he was concerned about his range a few times, but he was real good at finding a sweet spot that wasn't necessarily like the albums, but still sounded pretty good.
Yeah, and I was telling you that, there were certain songs that I figured would be bathroom breaks, but the tempo is better.
Great.
And
It was
they sounded way better live.
Yes, and they seem to concentrate on that mid period the most. From Machine Gun Etiquette, the Black Album, to Strawberries, and then all those B-sides that they had on all that other stuff. So it was a lot of stuff that Paul Gray had played on. But that didn't stop them from doing a couple of Phantasmagoria songs, or at least one.
Yeah, that was the one, like the ballad. Is It a Dream?
Yes, and Eloise.
Yeah, they sounded fucking great live.
They did. Really, a lot more powerful.
The last studio record they put out called Darkadelic, they had 2 in the set from that.
Yeah.
And Tim Schall had texted me one day and he said, man, because we always do this, me and Tim, this album's on sale. So it was like $13 or $14, and it came with a free vinyl mat, which was cool. The 2 songs off that record, Invisible Man and
Beware the Clown.
Yeah, Beware the Clown. Man, those kicked ass.
Super great. And what I find interesting about the Damned is I haven't really listened to them that much lately, but I had forgotten how kind of 60s jammy they could be. I mean, they kind of flit in and out of songs and added sections and things. It was really cool. And we've got a set list, and I think it's better for us to just kind of vamp on our general impression of the band for right now. But they seem to be, well rehearsed, and they made a point of keeping the set nice and snappy.
Yeah, they opened up with Love Song right out the gate off Machine Gun Etiquette. That sounded great.
Yes, it was awesome.
What was like some of the standout tracks in the set for you.
And then early on, they played, of course, they Love Song, and then they did, what was the one they did after that? I don't remember. But then Wait for the Blackout, which is my favorite. One of the most killer bass lines ever.
Yeah, there were so many songs that the bass just played such a prominent role in, like, just driving the song.
Right.
I mean, what's the one off of Strawberries?
Ignite?
No, the other one. Stranger on This Town.
Oh, yeah. That was awesome.
That was
really
probably
good.
the best song of the set.
I think that was good too, but and that kind of harkens back to what I said about them being 60s jammy. Yeah,
that's
based
based
back and forth on killing it.
I'm just letting these guys geek out on the Damned. I'm enjoying listening to these two fucking nerds geek out.
And then let's see, all the stuff off the first record, Neat, Fan Club.
Right. They didn't do. We didn't stay to see them do New Rose, did we? Or did they do it?
I mean, we made it through the opening band, and then we started to come around.
Right.
Once the Damned, I guess, adrenaline
a little
kicked
second
in.
wind.
Yeah. But it was one of those shows where we had the set list right at the mixing board, where we were standing the whole time, and they did like 2 separate encores. In the back of my mind, I just knew it. I was like, we're not going to make it for the last one.
we at that point, I think we were just, we wanted to get out. It was sweltering hot by that time.
Yeah, they kept, Captain Sensible would get a bottle of water. Instead of drinking it, he'd dump it on his head. Like, someone turn the AC on, you cheap whackers.
He was quite the animated character that he usually is. I've only seen him one other time, but I've watched a lot of videos and stuff. But it was interesting how many people knew the songs and were as you say, playing along, I guess, with the hand claps and singing the background vocals, like on Ignite.
Yeah.
The crowd sang that song for 10 minutes. That whoa, whoa. Yeah.
The Captain and Dave Vanian had like their mic stands, out in the crowd for 2 minutes?
Yeah, a couple, 3 minutes. Yeah. Longer than seemed normal.
But when we were behind that mixing board for 80% of the show, I mean, the fans were blowing right on us. And then towards the end, now, this is what saved us. We, got that one beer we drank down, and they had, one of those like 50-gallon water coolers with cups sitting out, and it was just free cold water. If not for that, I don't think either one of us would have made it.
No, I'd have been laying down on one of the picnic tables outside.
Once we got from behind that mixing board and walked over to that water cooler, we were like, holy shit.
That was just we did that for the last 3 or 4 songs, I think, and just got some different picture opportunities. I took a few pictures, and we'll try to post those too.
Yeah, so that was just day 1 complete. So
yeah.
Tell everybody what we got on tap for today.
Oh, boy.
We're leaving from New Braunfels now.
Oh, you should have stayed stopped.
Beautiful San Marcos, and we are headed to Lockhart, Texas, where it start of the Texas Barbecue Trail. We're going to sample some fine smoked meats at several different places.
Barbecue crawl.
Yes.
I'm into that now. I'd rather do the barbecue crawl than the Damned.
We will maybe post a review of that, and we can maybe talk about the contrasting styles of barbecue from different parts of the country. But we're going there. We've probably got 4 stops to make, and then we'll probably go back to the house, hang out for a little bit, and rehydrate or whatever we got to do. And then later on tonight, we're going to Kick Butt Coffee, where Manitoba played in Austin. And we're meeting Shitty Dude Danny Borden there.
Oh, nice.
And it's going to be the Oxys and...
Oh, good.
2 other bands. It's Danny Harvey's birthday party. He's the guy who was in Head Cat with Slim Jim Phantom and Lemmy. So anyway, it sounds like it's going to be fun. My least favorite place to go is Austin. No offense, Danny, but it's just such a crazy drive, and but it's in a good part of town. Anybody who was there for the Manitoba show knows that this is kind of a cool venue too. So I'm looking forward to that. It should be fun.
I'm gonna stop and get another 5-hour energy this time.
I think I'm done with the 5-hour energies for a while, man.
Yeah, I think I agree with that. I don't think we need a repeat of last night, but let's try to work in a water or two.
Yeah, maybe we'll go back to the house and take a little bit of a nap. That suits me a little bit better these days. 62-year-old Blake.
All right, well, until the next time.
Yeah, we'll do a little review of the Oxy show. I had promised a bunch of reviews over last summer, and I just never got around to it. We got so damn busy. I've got excuses for everything. But maybe we can put together a little review for that Oxy show. Maybe get Danny involved with it and see what we can do. And just keep the rock and roll geek vibe going for the next day or two.
Well, before I got out of here, I shipped a care package of Mad Anthony's hot sauce. If you haven't tried that Mad Anthony
good. It is
hot
good.
Mustard sauce, that is one of the best.
It's good. It's one of my favorites.
It's awesome. He sent me a bottle a while back. It was last year sometime. And man, I tell you what, everybody who tried it loves it. But it'll light you up. It will definitely light you up.
So we got to work in another trip to restock on some Whisker Bomb hot sauce on dinner too.
And Butler, let me know if you you more of that. I don't know how many of those you bought, but
I bought like 16.
We got to get Michael some of that stuff before he leaves.
Alrighty, so maybe you'll hear from us again later.
Yeah, if you're lucky. And we look forward to making sure that this is a well-rounded trip in the culinary and heavy rock genres.
Yeah, you got to take me to the Alamo and show me the basement.
Yeah, exactly. This guy's in the way. I'm sorry.
Alrighty, stay frosty.
Stay frosty.
All right, thank you, friends. When you do the next review, make it in a quiet place. That fucking background noise was annoying, but other than that, it's still great to hear from you two guys. I wish I was there hanging out with you guys. It sounds like a good time, especially the barbecue part. All right, friends, thank you for that. If you want to leave a show review audio comment, try to do it in a quiet place, but record it in your phone and email it to me, rockandrollgeek@gmail.com. Before we get out of here, I got a couple of emails I want to read. This is from Stephen Blackheart. The title of the email is Ghost Sucks. Your score wasn't as high as you said. You were just giving empathy points for your subscribers that have been possessed by spooky REO Speedwagon. They like Ghost because their wives like it too. It's fucking horrible. I love the costumes and merch. I'd love to waste money on that shit. Honestly, I would. But the music is gay Disney garbage. Fans of Ghost would hate the music. Fans of Ghost would hate the music I love too, guaranteed. I just wish I was made a Ghost lover because I'm for sure missing out. You should have done a track by track of the new CJ Wildheart by now. It's not fair! I love the new Wildhearts album, but the new CJ Wildheart album actually sounds like classic Wildhearts and really deserves equal spotlight. Fuck Ghost and stay frosty, Stephen Jerkface Blackheart. All right, Stephen. When CJ comes off his little tour, I'm going to see if he wants to come on the Rock and Roll Geek Show and talk about the album. How about that, Stephen? Okay? Just keep reminding me. Keep me on it, friend. All right, one more email from John Barlow, known as the JB the Rock and Roll Tax Guy. Hey Butler, how you doing? Super great, couldn't be better, I hope. Since you're a big country star now, I think it would be interesting to hear your track-by-track review of Turnpike Troubadour's new album, The Price of Admission. It's a little more alt-country than most of what's on the radio. The songwriting is just top-notch and the band is tight. Also, Evan Felker's vocals are amazing. Rich tone, great lyrics, and interesting phrasing. Anyway, I hope to hear your thoughts on it, and here's mine. So he gives a track by track of the Turnpike Troubadours, who I have never heard before. I'm not going to do a track by track of it because I don't want this to turn into the country geek show, because I'm not an authority on country music, but I will close out the show with a Turnpike Troubadour song. Thank you, JB, the rock and roll tax guy. The album is called The Price of Admission. Thank you for listening, friends. And if you stuck through the show with all the bad sound quality, the people who did the reviews are great people, and I consider them all great friends of mine. So hope you enjoyed it. I will talk to you soon. I'm going to be playing a thing with Chad Bushnell on Friday or Saturday on the 31st. Then I'm driving to Denver, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th at the Grizzly Rose. If you're around there, friend, come say hi. Send me an email and we'll figure out some way to meet up. Okay, friends? Here is Turnpike Troubadours. I'll talk to you soon. rockandrollgeek.com is where you can find the show. Email me, rockandrollgeek@gmail.com. Give me some show suggestions. I'll try to do a show before I get out of here again to Denver, if I have things to talk about. Find me on the Facebook, R&R Geek. There's a great Rock and Roll Geek Facebook group, as you know. The best people in the world are on there, and it's the best rock talk. Find me on the Twitter, R&R Geek. The X, R&R Geek. Find me on the Instagram, Rock and Roll Geek. Don't ask. I'll talk to you soon, friends. Here's little mellow country from the Turnpike Troubadours. I got a shitload of songs to learn, and 3 of them I'm singing lead. I'm singing Are You Sure Hank Done It This Way by Waylon Jennings, Ain't Living Long Like This by Waylon Jennings, and Living on Tulsa Time. That one, I don't know who sings that one, but I'm singing that one too. Here's Turnpike Troubadours. I'll talk to you soon.
There's a mid-July whitetail in velvet, red as your old Chevrolet. And I was 16 when you wrecked it, and we were lucky we both walked away. And you could day work and scrape out a living, the work for which you had been born. You were quick with a laugh and forgiving, and tied hard and fast to the horn. We had kelpies and good quarter horses, we had wheat pasture yearlings tied down. We learned pain was a price of admission, and you're never done paying it down. Back on the Red River, not hard to remember when your daddy would never get old. When I saw the world from up on your shoulders, I remember the view. When you live like we do, death doesn't leave with the best part of you. On days off, we'd help out our neighbors, and we smiled and we sweated for free. You'd earned every drink with your labor, and I'd sleep on your front seat till 3. And you'd call it a cure for a snake bite, reach for a 5th old crow. Some medicine should get your head right when the symptoms were starting to show. Back on the Red River, not hard to remember when your daddy would never get old. And I saw the world from up on your shoulders. I remembered the view. When you live like we do, death couldn't leave with the best part of you. pickups lined up down the driveway. Haven't really been gone for 2 years. I'd be on my third on a good day. I find my last bottle of beer. I guess Saturday started without you. I knew before I got the call. The red July bucks are in velvet. I'll tell you about them this fall. Back on the Red River, not hard to remember when your daddy would never get old. Gotta look at the world from up on your shoulders. I remember the view when you live like we do. Death doesn't leave with the best part of you. Gotta look at the world from up on your shoulders. I remember the view when you live like we do. Death doesn't leave with the best part of you.
It's a rock and roll geek train wreck.